Alright guys, what is going on guys? What is going on 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video, and the grind continues. We're going to be reacting to more mock drafts. You guys loved the last mock draft reaction I did on my channel, and you guys want to see more apparently. So we're going to be reacting to everybody's favorite mock draft, I guess, center, and that is CBS Sports. Now if you guys don't know, CBS Sports has the most peculiar and weirdest mock drafts you will ever see. I mean, constantly every year CBS always puts out the most outlandish, I guess I don't know if they're trying to drive clicks. It's definitely working, okay, because I definitely just look at these mock drafts for the memes. So that being said, we're going to be lining up 3 mock drafts, okay? So we're not just going to look at one by one because that'll just take too long. So I decided, let's look at 3 mock drafts at the same time and try to keep up with each of them and see which one is the weirdest, okay? I kind of glanced through all 3 of these, and so I really don't know which is the weirdest or what picks I really don't like. I don't even know if they're all bad, right? But I have a feeling. I just got a feeling, okay? So let's get into this mock draft. I don't think there's any trades in these mock drafts, as I'm seeing less and less of as the days go on. Usually around this time you see a lot more networks, you know, mocking trades and stuff like that. A lot of people are like sticking to no trades, but you know there's going to be trades. So let's start off with the first 2 picks because you guys can already see them, okay? So on this side, Mr. Wilson decided to take, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but you probably can't see my mouse, I don't know. But Aiden Hutchinson comes off the board here, Evan Neal comes off the board here, and Aiden Hutchinson, okay? I have no problem with these 2, okay? That's fine. And then obviously Trayvon goes off the board. They go edge, edge, and edge. So Detroit going edge, all 3 of them. But this one here, Trayvon Walker by Josh Edwards. If you think Trayvon Walker is a top 10 pick, you strictly look at the combine, because there's nothing on tape that tells me that Trayvon Walker should be a top 10 pick at all. He rose out of nowhere. Okay, I didn't even know who this guy, well, I knew who he was, but I didn't know of him as like a first round candidate. Then he comes out of nowhere, and you know, now he's a top 10 guy because after the combine. If you guys really think Trayvon Walker is a top 10, even hell, top 5 player right now, or in this case top 2, you're looking at the combine too hard, buddy. You're looking to the combine way too hard. So Trayvon Walker comes off the board here at 2. Let's move on to the 3rd, okay? 3rd and 4th, okay? I guess that's how we're doing it. So Mcduffie comes off the board here makes sense just by how the board's looking here. Chris Chapasso has Trayvon Walker coming off the board, so there's Trayvon. He's going 3rd in this one, 2nd on this one. Then Evan Neal comes off the board here. Good draft mock so far. So far, I like Ryan Wilson's the most. The most weirdest so far is probably Trapasso's, because even though I've mocked Kyle Hamilton going to the Jets, I just don't think it will happen because the Jets kind of learned what it's like to draft a safety in the top 10 and it not working. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's the same GM, by the way. But so Josh Edwards getting Ekem. Okay, the Jets getting a tackle. Sounds good. Kyle Hamilton, I mean, you could go BPA. If you go BPA, if the Jets really think BPA is the real deal, then obviously Kyle Hamilton, you know, it should have been picked number 1, but you know, Kyle Hamilton goes off here. Ahmad Gardner coming off here. This one's interesting because although they do need a corner, I don't know how high Ahmad Gardner can go. I definitely like, trust me, I think Ahmad Gardner is probably the number 1 corner in this draft. Just don't know if they prioritize that too much. Trayvon is off the board, however, Ekem is off the board. I mean, Evan Neal is a really good option there, but it's not like they need Evan Neal right away, right? They've spent some money in free agency on the offensive line, and on top of that, they still have George Fant there at right tackle, so it's not like they have nothing at right tackle. And obviously, they got Mekhi Becton at left. So, I mean, I guess they can afford to miss out on there and go Ahmad Gardner here and address the need. They have Ekem here, so let's move on to the next 2. Let me try using this. Maybe that would be better, right? Move on to the next 2. All right, so we got Evan Neal coming off the board here to the Giants. This is my favorite team, so I like the pick here. Evan Neal going here, Ekem coming here, and a Charles Cross coming here, and I think that's only because obviously it's 3 tackles in a row there. So Charles Cross coming off the board here. Kenny Pickett going in Trapasso's draft to 6th overall. This is interesting, even though, Malik Willis is more, I guess, acceptable here. But Kenny Pickett, he's rising up board for whatever. I can't stand Kenny Pickett, okay? I think he's the most overrated quarterback prospect I've watched since, like, Johnny Manziel, man. It's just, I don't like Kenny Pickett at all. I don't. And I trust Jeremiah. I love Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not a big fan of his mock drafts, however. But I love Daniel Jeremiah, and I listen to his podcast all the time, and he has Kenny Pickett as his number one quarterback in this draft, and I don't see how that's possible. But Charles Cross here makes sense. I think he chems off the board there. Makes sense. And Ahmad Gardner, this one's interesting. Ahmad Gardner going to Carolina here. I think they still have Dante Jackson. They just signed Dante Jackson to some money. They've got J.C. Horn coming off injury. He was looking to be promising. Interesting. They draft another corner here. Interesting in the first round. So that one's interesting. But Charles Cross coming on the board here. Yeah, all doesn't look too bad so far. I can't wait till things get crazy. Let's see, Trayvon Walker. Oh my God, there has to be every network has to do this and mock Trayvon Walker to the Giants. Now, it's not that I don't like Trayvon Walker. I just think he's wildly overrated, and that's what makes me not like him even more. Like, the more people mock him in the top 10, the more I just don't like him, even though I know he's a decent player. He's a good player. Is he a first-round talent? Probably. I would honestly say, like, mid to late first-round talent. I don't see the star, like the blue chip prospect in Trayvon Walker to take him like taking him second overall. I just don't see that. I don't see that in Trayvon Walker. I don't think Trayvon Walker has the same tape or even potential impact that a Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson can. So I think Jermaine Johnson's better than him. So that being said, okay, Trayvon Walker comes out the board here, Kayvon, so they address edge in every single spot here. And, we signed the Trayvon pick. I mean, I like them addressing edge here and getting some more talent in there and add it to the very, very young edge rushing group that the Giants have. Kyle Hamilton coming off the board here. I've been seeing him drop on a lot of other boards. Like, if he doesn't go to the Jets or he doesn't go to the Texans, a lot of people saying the Jets is a no-go for Kyle Hamilton, the whole Jamal Adams thing. If he's a no-go by the Texans, he's going to drop. He's going to drop. But he may even drop farther than Atlanta. Like, we're talking like 10 or 11, right? 10 or 11. Garrett Wilson coming on the board here. This one makes the most sense to me, unless it would be a quarterback, unless like a Malik Willis, because obviously, they signed Marcus Mariota, traded Matt Ryan, and, they could go quarterback here. Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, they could go quarterback here, try to groom up another quarterback for the future. Garrett Wilson is an obvious pick here, or Drake Jackson. I like Drake Jackson. I think Garrett Wilson more so fits that Atlanta offense. Drake London's more of a kind of a stagnant offense, one that doesn't really go deep downfield. Drake London is not much of a deep threat at all. He's more of a, like a Michael Pittman type of dude. So, don't really see him fitting Atlanta's offense, but I do like Drake London, so I guess I could accept this pick. And Kyle Hamilton coming out the board here, I guess that you would just want to go BPA and help that defense. The defense has been terrible for a number of years, and getting a game changer on defense there could help out a lot. But I would, if you go anywhere else but wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, you better be ready to address wide receiver in the later, like right after the first round. Like, you need to, because they don't have anybody over there. So let's go on to number 9, and Malik Willis goes all Malik Willis for the Seahawks, and it does make a lot of sense if Malik Willis does fall here, and a lot of people have Malik Willis going everywhere in this mock draft. I mean, I've seen him fall all the way down to the second round. I've seen him go to the Steelers. I've seen him get picked late in the first. I've seen him go to Atlanta. I've seen him go to Seahawks. I've seen him go to Detroit at 2. I've seen him go a lot of places. I mocked him to the Panthers at 6. He can go anywhere. And I guess, with Seattle getting the first round pick and potentially Charles Cross being off the board on all these boards so far, and Charles Cross is not off the board in Trapasso's draft. They will probably go Charles Cross here, but Malik Willis is definitely a good prospect there. We don't even know who their quarterback is yet. They got Drew Lock in there, but he might not be the starter. Let's move on to 10 and 11, and maybe we'll get 12. Okay, we got 12 in there as well. So I've mocked before. Okay, I'll wait for the Minnesota pick, but so we're gonna look at the 10th pick. and that is Devin Lloyd going. Devin Lloyd's interesting. I haven't seen that one yet, but Devin Lloyd's interesting. I wouldn't say it's off the table, but let's see. Ahmad Gardner, Devin Lloyd. You do need a receiver. Devin Lloyd is definitely better than the receivers in this draft. Devin Lloyd is like star, like he's blue chip. He's blue chip. I think Devin Lloyd is definitely a game changer, and he's definitely worth taking in the top 10. That's interesting. I've never really thought about that, but that's interesting. Actually surprised I haven't thought about that. Charles Cross comes off the board here. If Charles Cross falls to 10, this needs to be the move. If the Jets don't go. If the Jets don't go offensive lineman with the 4th pick. So that's an interesting one there. So I like that one. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I hope you guys can. I'm looking from OBS. It doesn't look like you can, but I thought I adjusted it that you could. Maybe it's just in the preview screen you can't. But all right, and Garrett Wilson, this one's the one I've seen the most. If Atlanta doesn't take him at 8, I definitely see Garrett Wilson going to the Jets. Either 8 or 10, I could really see Garrett Wilson going, and I think it'll be a good fit in both. Let's move on to the 11th. So nothing really wildly insane yet. So that's, I guess, promising. I don't know. Garrett Wilson coming up the board here to the Washington Commanders. I still hate saying that. Garrett Wilson coming off. Chris Olave coming off. Kyle Hamilton. So look, Kyle Hamilton falling all the way down to 11. I didn't even notice that. That he didn't go out in this what is his name? Josh Edwards draft. So that one's interesting. Kyle Hamilton going all the way to the Washington Commanders. We get corners. Okay, not corners all around here. Jermaine Johnson going. I've mocked every single one of these picks in different mocks. So Gardner, Stingley, and Jermaine Johnson. So I think it makes sense for the Minnesota Vikings. They just need defensive talent, really. Let's move on to the next picks. We got Jermaine Johnson going off the board here to the Texans at 13. This makes a lot of sense. I think he's a good fit there as well. Jermaine Johnson's all around. He could play any scheme. I've said that multiple times. He could play in the 4-3 like what Minnesota runs, and he could play in the 3-4 like with the Texans run. I don't know if the Texans still run 3-4, being that they had different coaching changes. I'm assuming they still run the 3-4, but he can fit in any scheme. David Ojabo coming off here, so I guess this is before the David Ojabo the injury. This may be before the injury. I don't know. All 3 of these mock drafts are coming in from different times. I think the latest one was like today, the 21st, and then the most oldest one is like the 17th. So it's not too far back, but David Ojabo going at 13. Even before David Ojabo's injury, I don't see him going to the Browns. I don't think it's a good scheme fit. The Browns, I believe, are in a 4-3 right now. I don't see David Ojabo running a 4-3. Maybe it's an aggressive 4-3. He doesn't have to be the number 1, obviously, with Myles Garrett there. I don't know how good of a fit that is. I don't like that pick too much. Derek Stingley coming off the board here to the Texans. The Texans need every position. So really, you couldn't go wrong with the Texans picking anywhere. Let's move on to 14 and 15. Trent McDuffie coming off the board. So, a lot of people really like Trent McDuffie. I like Washington DBs. They have a really good resume of players, right? You can go back to the all safeties and cornerbacks, man. You go back to like Sidney Jones was all right. Byron Murphy's really good. I thought he was the number 1 corner in that draft. Now you got Trent McDuffie and Kyler Gordon. You had Budda Baker a couple years ago. I'm blanking on a couple other ones too as well. I'm blanking. And then Marcus Peters was a Washington corner, wasn't he? I could be wrong about that. I could be completely wrong about that. But there are a bunch of corners. There are a bunch of corners out there from Washington that I really like. So they have a good resume, but I don't know about like these blanket cover 3 corners. They're really hit or miss, man. They're really hit or miss in the transition to the NFL. So I'm not that high on Trent McDuffie as a lot of people else are. I still think he's probably rated nicely. I think he is the number 3 corner in this draft. But I don't see him going this high, if you guys can catch my drift. Don't really see him going this high. And I honestly think Andrew Booth could give a run for his money as the number 3 corner in this draft. Jordan Davis, this is my favorite pick here. Jordan Davis going to Baltimore makes all the sense in the world. Jordan Davis just looks like a Baltimore Raven. I know they got Michael Pierce back, but Jordan Davis can really help that interior. They had a lot of free agents. A lot of them are gone, and they're very, very old. And on that D line, they have to get younger. And Jordan Davis is a perfect pick for the Baltimore Ravens. They don't need offensive line right now. I know a lot of people mock Linderbaum going there, but Linderbaum is not going to make a big impact like Jordan Davis is going to, because the offensive line is already good. What impact is Linderbaum going to do to an already great offensive line? Jordan Davis is going to help that defensive line tremendously. And then the same thing here, Jordan Davis. So I thought I was the only one making those picks, but now I'm seeing it more and more. I think I started the trend. Okay, Philadelphia. I always said this. Philadelphia cannot mess up in this draft. It's impossible to mess up in this draft. Drake London coming off the board here. Interesting. I didn't think I never saw Drake London going to the Eagles at all. I mean, I only saw like Chris Olave, because they don't really need outside receiver, you know, with Devontae Smith there. They could use more of a slot guys. They could use Jameson Williams and Chris Olave. But Drake London here, that's interesting there. Jermaine Johnson coming off the board here. I would hate that. I mean, it's a great pick. Don't get me wrong. He fits the 4-3 just to a T, but man, I would hate that, man. It would be like another, you know, I mean, I think he's better than Derek Barnett, but Derek Barnett, another situation. They don't really need an edge, but eventually he'll get that starting role and do very, very nicely. Devin Lloyd here. Devin Lloyd is going to the Eagles. It's like going to happen. It's going to happen. If Devin Lloyd doesn't go earlier in this draft, Devin Lloyd went 10th in this other draft here. That's why he's not coming to the Eagles here, but you know, Devin Lloyd is definitely going to be a freaking Eagle. There's no doubt about it, and that pisses me off because Devin Lloyd is one of my favorite prospects in this draft. All right, the second round of picks for the Eagles, Nakobe Dean. So instead of Devin Lloyd, they get Nakobe Dean. Derek Stingley coming off the board here. This would be a slam dunk pick if the Eagles were able to pick up Derek Stingley without trading up with one of their 3 picks here. That would be absolutely insane. They get like a top 10 talent, and that falls to their laps at 16. That's insane. Treylon Burks, I hope they draft Treylon Burks. I really hope that would be an Eagles pick to draft Treylon Burks over a guy like Chris Olave. I would love for them to. I mean, let's continue the trend here with them drafting the wrong receiver. I mean, besides Devontae Smith, but you know, you can go back J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK. You know, they got Jalen Reagor over freaking this guy, man. I'm blanking on Justin Jefferson. I was blanking there. But Treylon Burks, go ahead and pick up Treylon Burks. Go ahead. I'm not a big fan of Treylon Burks. Let's go. 17. Kenyon Green comes off the board. That's interesting, and it actually makes a lot of sense. I like it, but I would probably go Trevor Penning because I think they released Bulaga, and I think tackle is over guard. And Penning comes off the board here. Penning comes off the board there. Matt Corral coming up in this draft. I like Matt Corral. I think he's wildly inaccurate, as most of the other quarterbacks are in this draft. But Matt Corral coming off the board here to the Saints. That one's interesting. They just extended Jameis Winston. Treylon Burks coming off the board here to the Texans with their 18. Okay, this is a trade here, a mock trade. Okay, the Texans, they move up. That's weird. They move up for Treylon Burks. I don't think that should happen. And Kenny Pickett coming off the board here. I've seen that a couple times. Dax Hill. Man, going safety. Safety and Devontae Wyatt makes a lot of sense. You know, the Fletcher Cox is getting older. They're restructuring his contract. They cut him and then signed him again to kind of lower his pay, and so that means they're getting ready to move on from Fletcher Cox. Devontae Wyatt would be an absolutely perfect replacement for Fletcher Cox. So good pick there, Devontae Wyatt. Lewis Seen, this is way too high for a safety. I don't know a lot. Daxton Hill, I'm not a fan of Daxton Hill. He allows way too many catches. Whether he's in the slot or playing safety or playing like a freaking nickel linebacker or whatever, I don't like Daxton Hill. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Jordan Davis falling here to 20th. To Pittsburgh. I mean, that's okay. I really think they need to address offensive line. Their offensive line is not good, and they need to address it for, you know, Mitch Trubisky, whoever the hell is going to be starting over there. Desmond Ridder going in the first round to both of these guys. That's weird. There's a quarterback that just got instantly famous. Desmond Ridder's all right. Had a good combine. Has had a good offseason so far. Don't think he sneaks up into the first round, let alone the top 20. So That's weird. Andrew Booth is a guy that I really like. I said it earlier when we talked about Trent McDuffie. I feel like Andrew Booth can give Trent McDuffie a run for his money as the number 3 corner in this draft. I think Andrew Booth is really good. He covers ground extremely well, has one of the most fluid hips you'll ever see on a cornerback, and I really like him, man. If he can find a way to transition to NFL nicely, I think he's gonna have a really good career just because he has the tool set. He really does. George Karlaftis falling here. I just noticed George Karlaftis has been falling on all 3 of these drafts. I feel like he can go high. I feel like he should be drafted higher. I know he doesn't have the statistics quite there, and obviously maybe the competition, who he's played against and who he struggled against. Like he struggled badly against Ohio State and Nicholas Pettit-Freer, but I love George Karlaftis, man, and he is like a Patriot type pick there, so that makes sense. I think this is a slam dunk pick if they got Karlaftis this late. And Chris Olave, I never seen that yet. Chris Olave going to the Patriots, that's interesting. Chris Olave now going to the Packers. There's that. They're moving up to the Packers. Okay. Yeah, that was the Devontae Adams trade. So these are not updated here for the Devontae Adams trades. So Devin Lloyd coming here to the Raiders. Devin Lloyd falls to 22. That's crazy. That's crazy if he falls to 22. Jameson Williams is a really good pick here because they got like a kind of a replacement for Henry Ruggs. Not as fast as Henry Ruggs and doesn't have the same tool set, but extremely fast, still great and a great route runner. So a better route runner than Henry Ruggs is. So rest in peace his career. Zion Johnson coming off the board here. Linderbaum, they should go offensive line. Protect Kyler Murray at all costs. I know the whole controversy is going on over there with Kyler Murray, but still protect him and try to make a playoff run with him. Linderbaum coming off the board here. They have to go offensive line. Boye Mafe going in the first round. I don't know why I'm seeing more and more of this constantly. I think it's becoming a trend. Boye Mafe going all the way in the first round to 24. George Karlaftis, Jesus, if George Karlaftis goes to Dallas, I will be livid. I will be absolutely livid. But I don't know why George Karlaftis would fall this far. I don't know why he's falling this far. Like, I get why Linderbaum is falling far. Positional value, right? There are a lot of teams that don't really need a center or don't really need an interior offensive lineman. So, they prioritize other positions over that. I could see why he would fall. I don't see why George Karlaftis would fall. He's like one of the most wanted positions there. I don't know. I don't know why George Karlaftis would fall. But good players fall in drafts. That's just what happens. Jameson Williams going to, man, I would love this pick for the Buffalo Bills. Jameson Williams, I know Jameson Williams isn't quite ready to start yet because his injury, but he's ready to start. Trust me, I think he's ready to play. But as far as his injury goes, it may keep him sidelined for a little bit, and that's why he's pretty much he would be the number one wide receiver to me if he was completely healthy. But man, that would be a really good pick there. Daxton Hill, safety. They have one of the best safety tandems in the league, man, with Micah Parsons, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. I don't know why you need Daxton Hill there unless you want him to be a slot corner. But you have Taron Johnson there. I don't know. I don't really like that Daxton Hill pick. Jameson Williams, though, for Alabama, they just released Cole Beasley, so they need a slot guy. Man, Jameson Williams would fit the bill. All right, the Tennessee Titans, after trading for Robert Woods, they drafted Treylon Burks in the first round. This is a round where I see Treylon Burks going. I don't know if he should go all the way to the Eagles. I hope the Eagles draft him, dear God. But I'm not a big fan of Treylon Burks at all. I think he's I don't know. I'm not going to give him that gadget title because I don't like giving that to people or players. I don't like giving that gadget title to players, but man, I think he's just he's a schemed up guy. I don't really think he's a prototypical wide receiver. Like Deebo Samuel. It's very hard for a Deebo Samuel to have a Deebo Samuel career. It is very hard, and that's why there's only one Deebo, right? So, I don't know. Bernhard Raymond going all the way up. I mean, this is right around where I see him going to. Bernhard Raymond going to 26 to Tennessee in both picks here. Devontae Wyatt going to Tampa makes all the sense in the world to replace Ndamukong Suh and be right beside Vita Vea. Vita Vea being that run stuffer, Devontae Wyatt being that pass rushing defensive tackle. Kenyon Green coming off the board here. This makes a lot of sense too. They need to address offensive line, and they lost a lot of offensive linemen. They also traded for offensive linemen too. They got Shaq Mason, so Kenyon Green on the other side would be nice. Zion Johnson here would be another slam dunk pick. Daniel Falele, I haven't done too much work on Daniel Falele yet, but I see him rising up boards. Not quite the first round, but I see him rising up boards, so that one's interesting. Jahan Dotson, I've mocked this. Jahan Dotson going to Green Bay. Jahan Dotson is an interesting one because although I really like Dotson over a lot of other wide receivers here, the Green Bay Packers just need more of a true number one guy, right? Getting like a George Pickens or something like that, a true X receiver. Jahan Dotson is probably going to be a slot in the NFL, and I'm not high on his like route running ability. Maybe that's a scheme thing in Penn State, but he was kind of like a zone finder, right? He was a guy that just finds soft spots in zones and really makes the defense pay for it. Jahan Dotson is a smart, instinctual player. Don't know if he's a straight-up number one receiver, and the Green Bay really is in desperate need of a straight-up X receiver. So, don't know too much about that. Christian Watson sneaking into the bottom of the first. This one is interesting. Christian Watson with that great combine, he has 6'4", 220 just about, and ran like a 4.3, 640 or something like that. That's insane. But yeah, he sneaks in the first round here. This could be more. This pick actually makes more sense than a Jahan Dotson pick. It really does. It does. So I can't hate it. Don't see Christian Watson actually going to the first round, but don't hate the pick there at all. Karlaftis falling all the way to 29. How freaking blasphemous is this? Karlaftis falling 9th. This would be a great pick for Miami. Don't get me wrong, but him falling that far, it would be insane. Tyler Linderbaum, unfortunately, I see him falling this far. I don't like it. I think he's way more talented than a 29th overall pick, and he is going to be a godsend for Tua and the Miami Dolphins, who have been having a struggling offensive line. Logan Hall sneaking into the first. What position is he? I can't even see what position he is. I can score that. Oh man. He's a D-line. I haven't done any work on that player yet, so I'll have to do work on that soon. So, Boye Mafe going to Kansas City. I see him more and more at the bottom of the first. I don't see it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Drake London falling all the way to 30th. Wow, falling all the way to 30th. Drake London is. I don't know why people are just like not. I know that we're in the like modern day NFL where we're seeing smaller guys, faster guys, more route runners, but Drake London, man, he's very nimble on his feet. He's like 6'4" himself, and not very fast, man. I don't think he ran the 40, but he'll probably run like a 4.6, 4.7. Cooper Kupp ran a 4.7. Okay, so but Drake London I like a lot. I don't think he should fall this far. There, it would be a good pick for Kansas City. Don't think he'll be a great yin yang to Tyreek Hill. Great yin yang to him. David Ojabo falling to Kansas City, yeah, because of the injury. So I guess this mock draft was after the injury. I could definitely see David Ojabo falling this far, and it would make a lot of sense for Kansas City to take him here. Roger McCreary sneaking up into the first round. Hey, if you feel like a guy is worth a second round pick, but you don't pick until the bottom of the second round anyway, might as well take a second round talent in the bottom of the first, just so you get your player and you don't miss out on him. And if he doesn't fall to the bottom of the second, he might go early second. So this is fine with me. Khair Elam is someone I probably prefer over Roger McCreary. So him, this guy taking Khair over Roger McCreary probably makes more sense. And then we have a mock trade here. Patriots going back into the first round and getting Khair. I could definitely see this happening, and I definitely would like it. Sam Howell sneaking. We see this all the time, right? We see quarterbacks with that last pick. Someone trades up, or somebody's there, and they take a quarterback with the last pick. We've seen that plenty of times. Okay, you like Teddy Bridgewater, Lamar Jackson, like Paxton Lynch, right? And then Sam Howell there. So makes sense. Definitely makes sense. For if they like Sam Howell, then go get Sam Howell. Nakobe Dean, if he fell to 32, he would be an absolute godsend there at 32. And then Lewis Seen wrapping it all up on this mock draft. I mean, I could see him sneaking into the first. He's been rising up boards lately for no apparent reason. But that being said, guys, that is CBS's mock drafts, 3 of them at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys really enjoyed the last one, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Show me, send me more mock drafts you guys want me to check out and see in the comment section below. Send them links. Follow me on Twitter at KidBlueRB27, same thing as my YouTube name. And that being said, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.